All right, Miata's loaded on the trailer, ready to go. We're about to head down to Orlando to King's Performance. I've known the guys over there for a very long time. They're very cool. They had an open spot on their dyno today, so we're gonna take it down there. And the main goal is just to see what it makes. Matt has sent me a few tunes so I can play with the tunes and try out different ones and see kind of like what each one makes and be able to send him good dyno data logs and stuff. He might be able to even remote in and help us tune it. But you know, the main goal, I just want to put down a number. We've got it running on E85 now because I wanted to get that set up before the dyno. Otherwise I'd have to go back to the dyno. So since the came out, I put down a number and we know what it makes. I feel like it would be way more interesting to know what this makes too. So we're gonna find out. Oh, and I'm gonna try to weigh it on like actual car scales and figure out, you know, the weight split and everything. Like not just the overall weight, but front to rear bias and everything. Because a lot of people think the LS is gonna be super heavy, just like they think it's gonna be way too torquey and way too powerful of an engine for the car. And like neither of which are really the case. So we'll find out today. All right, we made it to King's Performance. It's a gloomy day, but it hasn't rained yet. We got Poopy here, busy on his phone. Me and Poopy go way back.
Yes, sir.
Like back when I first started drifting. What year was that Mustang?
Yeah, I think it was like 2000. I don't know, something.
It was like at least an 05.
8 years or
It was at least an 05. He had basically a new Mustang, and we're all drifting our old cars, and this kid strips the interior out of a new Mustang to go drifting.
Totally thing, huh?
Yeah, no, you destroyed it.
It used to ride out though.
It did, it did. All right, before we get started, we do have to look at your FD. I see it. Do you see look at my car? I drive down my driveway and that shit gets dirty.
Difference in a Mustang.
Yeah, I would assume so. It's like a completely different thing. See, this is what I want to do, but in a truck.
Yeah, this thing rips.
I'm sure. That's pretty wild. You like hard coolant things?
Yeah, water lines.
Yeah, it just looks crazy. Are they solid all the way back?
Yeah.
Wow.
$160 fittings.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't understand. Like, I could never do this. Thousands of dollars in fittings.
Like right now, the target PSI on our S2000 is like, before the run's over, we're at like 80 something PSI.
That's insane. 80? I thought like 30 was a lot. You run Fuel Tech on this, right?
I was noticing on your videos, on your switch panels,
Very similar to the Fuel Tech one. If you look at it.
Where is it?
It's right at the top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very, very
you can change the button things, right?
Yeah, it's like the soft touch thing.
Door clears the thing.
Because it's a 4x4.
I know. Damn! So Matt, Talk Mechanics Matt, the one who's been tuning my car, he's only guessing 320 with the 85 because of the manifolds. I'm gonna go 335. Then
I don't know, like 315.
5.3 with a 595 lift cam, LS2 intake, E85. 400, you're going high. All right.
95.
All right, I mean, I hope you're right.
380.
I don't know.
380. All right. Okay, you guys are making me more optimistic. I'm over here thinking it's going to be terrible. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a number. The car feels phenomenal. It feels like it's got plenty of power, especially now that it's on the 85. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just curious. I want to get a baseline, and we're going to mess around with the tunes and stuff. So I need to grab my laptop.
Yeah, they make a kit for the 88.
Yeah, it's pretty simple because like the rear subframe is so like there's not much there, so you just weld on 2 mounts and you're done. And I got my 88 for 40 bucks.
Yeah, no, like as soon as you hit it.
You got the e-brakes on.
Yeah. That's funny. I wondered why it was being so weird. It didn't want to like go.
The baseline was 291 with the handbrake like pulled.
Yeah, with the handbrake like on.
Bro, it was glowing, bro.
Yeah, that was wild.
I think you get some break it in for the brakes.
Yeah. You just gotta set the pads, bed them or whatever. Check it out, guys. 344. That's only on dyno run number 2. That's no handbrake. 344. I was hoping just to crack 340, so we might be able to break 350-ish, which is really my goal from the start of this project. So 344. I'll have to have him pull up the actual graph in a second, but we're gonna do a few more pulls. I'm gonna send this log to Matt and then see what he thinks. Oh, I didn't pay attention to the air fuel again.
But after 5,500, it just nose down.
So at the end we made 343 torque, 339 horsepower. That's dialing it back for a safe tune because we weren't really gaining anything with the more like the extra timing up top. So he kept pulling out timing to see if it dropped any. Didn't really drop. We lost like 2 horsepower. Best we did was 345 basically, and that was ice cold, like second run in. So that's a solid number for multiple runs in a row. Like the car doesn't have a real chance to cool down. We do a run, change the tune a little bit, do it, and huge shout out to Matt because he's literally, I'm sending him the logs and then he sends me a tune file and I take the tune file, put it on, do a pull. Like he's like remote tuning through Facebook Messenger. It's hilarious. So yeah, very happy with that. That's what I wanted to make around 340, 350. So we made 340, it's safe, it's good, stoked. So now we gotta go see if we can weigh this thing. Also huge shout out to King's Performance. They have a great facility here and they're super helpful with getting all this done. Like an hour on the dyno was exactly what I needed. Like we literally came down in the last couple of minutes and finished the last hits and everything. So that was really cool. Really glad we got to do this. Again, huge shout out to Kings for fitting us in the dyno with such a short time frame notice. So we're gonna get the car loaded back up and head to whatever the next destination is. All right, we are actually not gonna go get it weighed because I'll have to pay to get it weighed. I don't really have time to get it corner balanced. I don't really want to get it corner balanced now when I'm gonna change spring rate back in the rear for the 4K and have to re-corner balance it. It would be nice to have it corner balanced for the race, but I really don't think it's gonna matter that much for me, so just gonna skip that entirely. We do have karting lead night tonight, and it is like the last round. It's the finals, and I was 6th before the last race. I don't know what I am now with the drops, so definitely want to get to that. We'll save weighing it for another day. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think the biggest killer, the car should have probably made around 370 if I would have had long tubes, probably 370, 380. The 345 was definitely just being choked by the fact that I have cast iron manifolds, which is like the best for fitment wise and working on the car and stuff. And it's kind of worth the sacrifice in horsepower for me, for now at least. If I ever upgrade the heads or do a bigger engine or anything like that, probably have to figure out long tubes. But for now, I'm super happy with 345. So anyway, we're gonna head home now. Made it home, safe and sound. Still very happy with the dyno numbers. I guess for those of you who are unaware and don't know what's done to this car, I didn't even explain that.
It's a stroker motor.
408 stroker, twin turbo. Give you guys a quick rundown. So this is a Gen 3 5.3 out of an Isuzu Ascender. It's an aluminum block. It has the meh casting heads. It's 862s, not the 799s that come out of the L33. It's got a $200 Elgin cam, 595, 595, 228, 230, 110 LSA, if I remember correctly. It's got Pac 1218 springs, just cheap springs. The total cam and spring combo is under $400. LS2 intake, arguably the worst factory GM intake ever made. What else? Stock. I mean, otherwise it's 100% stock. G8 manifolds instead of long tubes. That's just what this kit is designed around to get the motor in the car. And pretty much, like I said, everything else is stock. It's a stock motor. I didn't open up the bottom end. I didn't do anything. It's got a windage tray, crank scraper, which is supposed to free up about 10 horsepower, which would make sense based on our dyno numbers. And it's running a factory GM P.O ECU with a GM flex fuel sensor to read the ethanol content and run it on E85 so that we can run it on pump gas or E85. It'll read the content, adjust tune accordingly. What else? Yeah, I mean, this combo has a lot of room for expansion. I mean, if I did like good cast heads that were like ported, you know, CNC ported like 799s, and I did like, you know, like a built head essentially with better valve springs, chromoly push rods, aluminum roller rockers, etc. A real intake, like either a fast or like the Holly high rise, which I wouldn't do because you'd have to cut the hood out. But that and like a slightly more aggressive cam and long tubes, the car would probably pick up 60 to 100 more horsepower. It'd be like 400 to 440 range as it is. So for a basically stock motor with just the cam and springs thrown in it, I'm very, very happy. And cast iron manifolds, I'm very, very happy with the numbers. I mean, and it rips. Like, butt dyno wise, the car feels great. I love it. I have no qualms with the power level. It feels great. I'm sure down the road we'll want to upgrade it and make some more power, and at least that's like super easy to do. The platform is there. There's so much more we can do with this, even this engine, or just the fact that it has all the mounting and wiring for this style engine. I could put a 6.2 in it. I could do, you know, whatever I want. There's possibilities are endless, really. Roots blower, make 550. Yeah, there was two things I didn't tell you guys about. One just happened. Thing number one, when we went to get diesel this morning, we were filling up at this small little gas station, and my trailer was kind of in the way of this dude getting out. Instead of like saying, hey, can you pull up or whatever, I pulled up as far as I could to reach with the diesel, because there's obviously only one pump. He like Ricer revs coming out. He's in like a 6-cylinder, 5-speed F-150 lifted on mud tires, and you hear him like Ricer revving, like the expression, his anger for how my trailer's in his way. He backs up, looks to make sure he doesn't hit the trailer, and then just drives straight over the trailer anyway. Like drives straight over the back of the trailer. You can see his tire mark right here. So I was like, I yelled at him. I got my frustration out and just called him an idiot. I was like, dude, like what? Like how did you literally looked at it? And then I was like, just leave. Like just get out of here. Like I'm not like, it didn't cause any damage, but like frustrated me. And I got my frustration out. So I was like, whatever, just get out of here. Other crazy thing that happened. Sorry for the long-winded, but this has been an interesting day. On the drive back, on the drive there, basically we get on 75 and then immediately like less than a mile down, get on the turnpike south to Orlando. So they wouldn't let us on 75 south. So we had to take this crazy bypass to get on the turnpike in Wildwood. So on the way back, there was still a bunch of residual traffic, but it was like ghost accident traffic. Like we were passing by and it was like gridlock, nobody really moving. And then behind that, people were cruising normal speed. And like ahead of that, people were cruising normal speed. As we were getting to the tail end of that, I see like smoke coming off a semi. I'm like, man, that guy's truck's smoking. He must have blown his motor. And I'm like looking in the mirror, and then I see him turning. And I'm like, oh, he's getting off because he blew his motor up. And I realized that was brake lockup. Hard on the brakes, locked him up, flipped the truck over, slid the truck into the traffic ahead of him, and like completely across the highway. Crazy. That was crazy. I hate seeing stuff like that, man. Like it sucks. It shakes you up a little bit. So yeah, next step. League night. I got some stuff to do to the Miata. I'm going to mount the power steering cooler and stuff, but none of it's that interesting. So I'll see you guys at league night. But I left my Sony action cam at King's.
Yo, Taylor, I think you forgot your camera.
I think we're shipping this out.
During the dyno thing, totally forgot it, so I don't have the mic, so I won't be able to talk like during the racing. But it's the outer loop, so it's a different layout. This one's going to be very crucial for kart. Like if you have a slow, like lower horsepower kart that's not running as well, because they're all the same, but there is a difference. You're going to have a big disadvantage. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Look at his ugly sweater. I don't have an ugly sweater because I forgot. I thought about it. I have one, but I didn't bring it. I would have lost anyway. Look at that. You can't beat that ugly sweater.
This is this year's.
This is the track layout, all the stuff that's highlighted. So normally we run it. This is all the same, but then we come through here, around here, up over the bridge, down, around, down. So we're cutting out basically the whole bridge section and this section and going this way. Should be fun.
How many laps is the race tonight? 16 laps on the outer loop. So race 1 will go forward, race 2 will go backwards.
Were you serious about the bonus points for the ugly sweater?
No.
Qualifying cart had no top end.
I didn't realize it.
Starting on 11. Alright, we're starting out in back, which should be really interesting. I haven't started back in a long time, but I had a slow cart, or I think I had a slow cart. Tim qualified first and he's running it, so we'll see if it sucks or not, or if it's just me, but it felt very slow on the straights. which is pretty good. Not bad. I feel like I could have caught up with the rest of the pack, but I had to like give up a position or something. All right, race number 2, reverse. Look at the gap between first and like, what is that? 9. 9. So I'm 50.9. First is a 50.59. It's like within 2/10 from first to 7th, 8th actually. It's crazy.
Third place, 360 points, Josh Olson. Bow tie. Woo!
Yeah.
McCabe, 382.
Again. All right, another fun league night. That was like I said, the end of the season, which it was definitely a fun one. Those guys are so good. I never feel bad getting like 7th place or whatever, because pretty much everyone 1st through 6th, I mean, and other people were in the pack. It just depends on where different people end up. But like that whole position range, like everyone is so good and so on their game, and they're so fast. Like I don't expect to be able to be faster than them. So to just hang with them is rad. I feel like I've learned a lot from karting, and I've learned a lot of like, I don't know, how to find the limit, how to drive at the limit, how to figure out the line, because every single night is a different track, and usually it's one way and then reverse. So it's not like we're running the same exact track over and over and over and over again. We're always running a different track, different layout, different kind of setup, and that helps you adapt very quickly. So yeah, I don't know, very fun. Next one starts up in a couple months, so hopefully we can get some grip racing in before then. And oh, you guys probably can't see anything. Yeah, Dyno, league night. It's been a good day. It's been a good day. We should be doing breaks tomorrow, assuming everything works out. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.